All right, everybody. Good late morning. Hope you guys are doing well today. And we've got a little bit of not so great news, although I will say it was largely expected news. I don't think anybody's going to be terribly surprised by this one. Nevertheless, it is on some level kind of sort of bad news. It involves Terrion Arnold, who, by the way, as of right now, has not signed with the Seahawks yet. And according to this report, that actual signing will take a little while. But the crux of this report is it doesn't really matter that much when they sign him because, as it turns out, and again, I want to stress, this is not surprising. I'm sure the Seahawks expected this, and I think most of us fans were expecting it too. When Terrion Arnold signs, he will be placed on the commissioner's exempt list. This video is sponsored by Prize Picks. So we got this tweet from Rappaport here, talking a little bit about the issue, and the original source is, well, not the original source, but another source on it is Mike Garofalo, so it's a pretty credible report. Terrion Arnold, still planning to sign with the Seahawks, but it's going to take a little while. And when he does, whenever that happens, he will be placed on the commissioner's exempt list by Roger Goodell, and that severely limits what he'd be able to do with the team even when he does sign. When he is placed on the commissioner's exempt list, he will not be allowed to play for the team, and that includes preseason, and he will not be allowed to practice for the team, and I believe that includes training camp. So the only thing, and Rappaport points this out here, the only thing that he would gain from signing with the team while on the list is he will be able to be in meetings, and that's valuable. I'm not going to dismiss that, but he won't be able to practice or play. So now we kind of know what we're looking at here with Terrion Arnold. Now we have a pretty decent picture of what we are dealing with in terms of his road back to the field. And it looks like it's going to be a little bit bumpy, although, as Rappaport points out, they were aware, any team that could sign Arnold was aware that the commissioner's exempt list was likely. So this isn't some kind of a punch out of nowhere. This isn't some kind of a surprise. The Seahawks were aware of the fact that bringing in Terrion Arnold did not mean you would have access to him immediately. So now the question becomes, when would you have access to him? And again, that's just going to be another thing that we don't know for sure. But his next court date is October 5th. So let's assume here, and again, all we can do is really assume because we don't know. The commissioner's exempt list is something that the league does while either the situation that he has, the felony charges that he has, are going to be pursued, and it'll be revisited either when the league decides to suspend him for a set number of games, or when the hearing happens on October 5th, and then they can reevaluate what exactly they want to do. Now, that leaves a lot of unknowns. Is there going to be like a 6-game suspension that gets backfilled with whatever games he missed at that point? So would they basically just look at it as he missed X number of games because of the commissioner's exempt list? So we're going to suspend him for an additional Y number of games, such that X plus Y equals 6, because that is the standard suspension length. That would make some sense to me, but is that what they're going to do? All right, guys, let's take a quick break here to talk a little bit about Prize Picks, currently the #1 sports pick app in America. The app is very easy to use. Check it out to my left here. You can do player picks, where you just pick more or less on a few player stats and lock in your lineup. Or you can pick teams, where you pick winners, spread, or total on any game or fight. The app is available in most states, including California, Texas, and Florida. Right now, they have a great offer. You can play your first $5 lineup and get $150 in lineups if you win. All you have to do is use code HMA when you sign up. It's a brand new offer. Best time possible to get on the app. So get on over there and get to winning that first lineup. So remember, Prize Picks, code HMA. Download the app today and remember to always gamble responsibly. So if that's the case, then what they've done is they've put in a suspension for 6 games, and they're just going to maintain their options in the event that his, I think it's, I can't remember if it's a hearing or if it's an arraignment on October 5th. If it exposes something much worse than what it looks like right now, then they have the option to just go ahead and put him on the list indefinitely. Maybe they'll reevaluate. It's really hard to know exactly what this means. Now, the issue would be if we get to that October 5th date and all the charges get dropped or he's found not guilty, and then they're like, well, we already suspended him for X number of games, and it turns out he didn't do anything, then that would be the obnoxious outcome here. So I'm not saying this is necessarily completely fair, but it is the reality of the situation that we have to deal with right now. So, in fairness, and I think that this is going to be a relatively agreeable position, I don't think this Seahawks team was thinking about bringing in Terrion Arnold less than a month before the regular season starts, and that he would elevate himself to a starter before the games began. So when you're taking a look at this and you're thinking to yourself, oh man, now he's not going to have the opportunity to ramp up in time for the regular season, he was always going to start as a backup and maybe even start as somebody that isn't an option to play, but he was never going to bump Devin Witherspoon, and he was certainly, certainly not Devin Witherspoon, and he's not bumping Nicky Manwari, and I don't think he's bumping Josh Jobe either. So as long as that crew can stay healthy for the first couple of months of the season, Witherspoon, Eamon and less so Eamon because Arnold is an outside corner at the end of the day, and Jobe, then ultimately there won't be a lot that's lost here. And Arnold is brought in as depth and somebody who can step in and deliver decent snaps in the event of an injury. So we just need to stay healthy at the cornerback spot until he's ready. And hopefully, and again, we don't know, hopefully sometime around mid-October, he's either taken off the list or his suspension is up. This exempt list thing might just be kind of a placeholder until they give out an official suspension around late August. Although, again, I don't really know how they're going to be able to do that when you have when you don't think anything's going to change in terms of the case and the trial between now and then. To my knowledge, the next major date for the court date, excuse me, not the court date, but the charges is October 5th. So we're in a little bit of limbo here right now, but again, not unexpected. Terrion Arnold on the commissioner's exempt list. So we just need to stay healthy for the first couple months at corner, because as long as we stay healthy, I don't think there was a lot for Arnold to necessarily do. And realistically, if something does happen, then you need Nehemiah Pritchett to step up and deliver some good snaps. All right, see you guys later. Go Hawks. More stuff coming soon, but Terrion Arnold goes to the commissioner's exempt list. Thoughts?